I want to go ahead and point something else out too, because, just a blatant fucking lie when it comes down to, you know, people that go ahead and act like, oh, no, when it comes down to your work history and experience and everything, it's suspicious as all fuck. It's like, hey, guess what? Let's go ahead and break it down. All right. So, with the group home, they had set me on the path of, that whole life coaching program, but that weren't even my first job. All right. The church that I ended up growing up in, I would help distribute food, for the food pantry. Not to mention that, when it came down to charity, I was actually helping with the ancestry program, that would go ahead and like help deliver, gifts to family members of inmates, and keep in mind, what made that program so personal was the factor that, I was also a recipient from that program because of, you know, sperm donor life sentence. All right. Uh, 14 years old. First job that I was able to get on the books. That wasn't pretty much a, you know, homeschool, take your child to work day. Or in other words, child exploitation. Which, by the way, thanks API Electronics. That and John Rosado, you really fucking enabled the fuck out of my mom with that one. Johnny Juice. Anyway. So 13, API Electronics. 14, Dollar King, Sunvet Mall. 15, and keep in mind, whenever I would end up, not continuing on a job for a long time, it's because every step of the way, there was a new situation that my mom was apparently getting injured on the job. So ultimately, when you have a parent that's a fucking helicopter parent, wanting to restrict your mobility, ultimately, if they end up saying, you don't get to continue working, you need to fucking find your way there. When you, with those jobs, end up going ahead and having to travel anywhere from 20 to 50 miles, walking it ain't going to be an option. All right. So I also ended up going ahead and having to transfer, pretty much a videographer, transferring as far as every family member of my bloodlines. The older generations, well, they were like, why the hell didn't we see you around despite being thrown through the system? It's like, hey, so I got to watch y'all every step of the way too. Um, Basically, I'm the person that ended up going ahead and modernizing every single family memory from every single family party and everything that I was fucking excluded from. We're talking from a young age. So ended up having, decades of experience in that one, but it was convenient to go ahead and leave that out. Went to go ahead and start a audio video production company. Ended up going ahead and making 9 albums individually. While at the same time, acted as a talent scout for, different indie labels. Ended up going ahead also working at Checkers and Ronkonkoma. Ended up going ahead at one point too working at the Sonic in Lexington, North Carolina, because, obviously didn't stay in the same state. There was also literally every winter going around shoveling, the driveways of pretty much my entire community, as well as going ahead and doing, lawn maintenance, raking leaves, mowing lawns and everything throughout the entirety of my childhood. Basically, I started working at the point of 6, 7. So, imagine people trying to be like, oh, fucking lazy. No, nobody wants to work anymore. That whole narrative. And it's like, motherfucker, I started working at 6. I'm 35 years old. All right. Imagine having 3 fucking decades of work experience under your belt.